Reese says, how do you make friends? I really want to make friends IRL or online, but I get super anxious just by thinking about it. Here's the key, right? Instead of being desperate to make friends, which we all are, believe me, make other people want to be friends with you. Yeah. Online or IRL, get super anxious just by thinking about it. That's normal. That's really normal. Personally, I think the best way... so from this, I'm going to take a guess and say that you're fairly introverted. I think the best way to deal with this kind of a situation is to find an extrovert. The way that extroverts make friends with introverts is that extroverts will just kind of come along and adopt you. They'll just be like, you're my friend now, and they'll pick you up and kind of take you along. And if you're friends with an extrovert, you'll make friends with so many people. It's wild. You'll just sort of... You'll get adopted by an extrovert who decides they're your friend, and then from there, that extrovert will make friends with so many other people, and from that, I think you'll learn quite a bit about how to make friends and how to interact with people. Which is never easy to learn. It's really difficult stuff. It really, really is. But having one person in your life who does well at making friends, and there are lots of them out there, you will learn so much. Be open to learning new things about how this works, and be open to the idea that you may be put in some pretty uncomfortable situations if you want to make friends, right? It's rough. Look to be adopted by an extrovert, and look to feel ready for what comes next, because it might feel really uncomfortable for you. If you're not used to making friends, then making friends can be quite spooky. Look approachable and not too desperate. Also get adopted by an introvert. It's difficult to give advice on someone I'm not terribly familiar with, but that's sort of what I'd say, is that just having one friend who finds it easy to make friends is a good way of suddenly having a really nice group of friends. Joining a VTuber group does help. Although I understand that that isn't an option for everybody. I think that, to be honest, beyond the pressure to make friends, there comes the issue where if you lack self-confidence and you lack self-love, then most likely you are going to struggle to make friends, because what we tend to do when we're in that situation is that we just sort of almost don't really know what to say about ourselves. You know, if we were to get into a bit of an icebreaker situation, you shake hands and they're like, right, what, you know, so what do you like? And you're like, and then all of a sudden you realize that all of your interests are super niche and you have no idea what to talk about, and then all of a sudden the other person finds you weird, and then it becomes like a whole thing. The best thing I can say is the whole get adopted by an extrovert thing, and to try not to worry about it so much, okay? I think that whether you've got amazing friends or not, you yourself are still amazing. And the more you believe that, the hardest part is really over, because at that point you'll really kind of believe that anyone who wants to be your friend is lucky to be your friend, right? I think the more that you feel like you don't have much to offer people, the more that they'll see that as well, and the more that you'll wind up just... Oh, I don't know why this question is stumping me so much. That's a good bit of advice that I just saw in chat. If your interests are very niche, don't worry about trying to make friends with random people. Maybe meet people through that niche, right? There are Discord servers about all sorts of different things that you can try and join. There are all sorts of things that you can manage to do that might really, really help you no matter what. So I would say that's a good way of doing it. Embrace your interests, embrace your niche, and don't worry about making friends with every single person that comes your way, because you really don't need to. Some people just aren't meant to be friends with each other, and that's fine. There are lots of people that you really that would make good friends for you, and some that maybe wouldn't, and that's all right. Okay? So please, don't worry about it too much. Find friends where you can, but remember that whether you have friends or whether you don't, you're still worth being friends with. And while that's true, friends will find you eventually. I'm really sorry that one stumped me for a while, but chat really did help me out with that one. Let me have another sip of my tea.